Yeah, the reason why I was asking Daraine was I know the other night when you were speaking to child support is fraud, he had a similar situation, and and I know that you said in that live that there is no statute of limitations on fraud, so that's why I was. That's basically why I was asking. What would be the best plan of attack?
Yeah, I would send the statute of limitations letter, but I'll make sure that I do my calculations to know the exact amount that I'm going after.
All right.
And just put that in the letter. Yep, no problem. All right, back to you, Shantae.
All right. Up next, last but not least, we're finished right on time. We have Andre. Andre, over to you.
Andre, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Can y'all hear me?
I am hearing you perfectly fine. Talk to me.
All right, that's good. Hey, I've been following you for about a month now. I just had a question.
What you got?
I got maybe like 4 or 5 late payments, but all the accounts is closed. So
That's
how
fine.
do I go about that?
That's fine. I'm gonna be going over it tonight. Don't worry about it. I got you. So I'll use you to start the class. So you asked a perfect question because we're gonna go into it. But before I do late payment, I'm gonna do a few things. But late payment will be one of the topics that I'm gonna be touching tonight. All right.
All right, sounds
so
good.
I'll be sure to Shantae. Just remind me when I'm at late payment, how to delete late payment from a closed account.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just remind me of that. All right, guys. So as I set up to start lecture, we can definitely go into some aha moments. And yeah, while I switch the cameras over.
All right, guys. So I know we're not taking any more questions, but if anybody, I'm not sure if we have any participants from our last challenge that maybe had some success, any suggestions. Karen, I know you are full of information always, and you're always giving out some game to us. But if anybody did have anything, just feel free to raise your hand and we can go by the list and unmute.
Right, audio check 1 2. Audio check 1 2. Shantae, how do you hear me?
You're good, loud and clear.
All right, cool. Can you see the board? Can everyone see the board?
Yeah, let me.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So this is, believe it or not, guys, this is a very common question. Daraine, should I freeze the secondary consumer reporting agencies? My answer to that is yes. The reason why you freeze them is because of this. You freeze them because of control, right? I want control over my reports. I want control over who can access my reports. And this is the reason why I freeze my reports. Now, when your reports are not frozen, anyone can access your reports. They shouldn't, but they can, because TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they really just give your reports out to everybody. And you'll see what I mean once I touch on inquiry. So the purpose of freezing the secondary consumer reporting agencies is, one, verification purposes, right? So the consumer reporting agencies, they're supposed to go to the creditor. So let me give you a visual representation of what's happening. Oh, this is good enough. So let's go here. So when you dispute with TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, right? TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they have smaller consumer reporting agencies, Innovis is there, right? That they go to. They go to LexisNexis, Innovis, CoreLogic, ARS. They go to SageStream. They go to LCI. They go to so many different smaller agencies. And if the information, right? So let's say that they possess the same info. If they possess the same info as TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, then they're going to say verified. They did not do a document check. So what happens is here, there's a code is sent. There's a 3-digit code, right? So a code is sent. And this code is sent via eOscar, E-S-C-A-R. This code is being sent by eOscar to the smaller consumer reporting agencies. And if they get the same code back, meaning that the item is the same that we have, then guess what? Your information has been verified or it has been validated. So when you put a lock on it, right? When you put a lock on your consumer report, it prevents them from going here. You are stopping them from going here to verify information. So now they must go to the creditor to go and verify the information. And now they're going to send that 3-digit code again, right? C-O-D-E to the creditor via E-O-S-C-A-R, via eOscar, and you're going to send it. And that's how the whole validation process works. So the reason why you freeze the secondaries is because you want to limit TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian's capabilities to verify it with other agencies. I'm sending them directly to the creditor. So this is what all of this document is explaining, and you will get the link. You will get this document as a part of your homework. You're going to get this document to get this done. Now, that's the first thing you do. The second thing you do is personal information. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to personal information, I'm here to tell you that personal information is one of the most important things that you can think of. So personal information, so you know what, let me ask a question. Does anyone think that personal information affects your credit rating? Your credit rating as in approval, not your credit score. So let me make sure I straighten this out. Do you think personal information affects you getting approved for credit? Now, if you're in the connoisseur program, please do not answer. All right, I'm seeing some yeses. All right. So the questions that I'm asking tonight, if you are in the connoisseur program, you do not get to answer any of these questions, okay? You do not get to answer. So put your pens down, put your Twitter fingers down. You are not answering no question in here tonight. All right. Unfair advantage. All right. So, unfair advantage. All right. So, I want you guys to look at something. There are some of you that have disputed personal information before. And Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, they told, what did they say? They told you this. We cannot delete addresses tied to open account. Who has ever received that response before when they disputed personal information with TransUnion, Equifax, Experian? Who's ever gotten that response before? All right, Joe said I did in the beginning. I'm seeing me. Okay. Did you know that this is a complete lie? That is a complete lie. And let's prove it. Let's prove that it's a lie. We're going to prove it right now. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, here we go. Let's prove that this is a lie. 15 USC 1681. Let's prove that this is a lie right now. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Congressional findings and statement of purpose. Accuracy and fairness of credit reporting. The Congress makes the following findings. The banking system is dependent upon fair and what? What is this word? Accurate. Accurate credit reporting, right? Accurate. Inaccurate credit reporting directly impairs the efficiency of the banking system, and unfair credit reporting methods, which would be unfair to you, right? It would be unfair to you if they keep reporting inaccurate information. Methods undermine the public confidence, which is essential to the continued function of the banking system. All right. Look at this right here. I want you to look at number 4. There is a need to ensure that consumer reporting agencies exercise their grave responsibilities with fairness, impartiality, and a respect for a consumer's right to privacy. Now, I want you to keep that in the back of your mind, right? Just hold on to that in the back of your mind and just follow me real quick. We're about to go somewhere else. Just follow me real quick. Nelson versus Experian, Experian solution. All right, look at this. The Fair Credit Reporting Act provides that if a consumer contacts a consumer reporting agency to dispute the what? Completeness or accuracy of any item of information contained in the consumer's file, the CRA shall conduct a reasonable reinvestigation of the disputed information. The CFPB and the Federal Trade Commission filed an amicus brief arguing that this provision applies to consumers disputing concerns. Let me make this bigger so y'all can see it. Disputing concerns over what? Personal identifying information contained in the consumer's file, such as names, addresses, and social security numbers. The brief also argues that Experian's contrary interpretation was not based on the text of the FCRA, prior case law, or guidance from the CFPB or the FTC. Experian therefore should not be allowed to escape liability for failing to investigate the consumer's dispute. Dwayne, do we got Dwayne in the house? Dwayne, are you here?
Yes, I am.
All right, Britt, could you spotlight Dwayne for me? So,
Okay.
Dwayne, I heard a little birdie told me, right, that when Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax responds with "we cannot delete addresses tied to an open account," old information, is that true?
No,
Huh? Why not? Why do you say it's not true?
because that personal information is also part of the consumer report, and it would be inaccurate if it wasn't reported.
Okay. Now, what gave you the insight based on what you're saying now? And how do you know that what you're saying is correct? What could you give as an example to corroborate what you're saying?
I just went through arbitration with Experian concerning my name, the misspelling of it, and the other multiple names that they came up with, and they said that Experian said it was not part of the consumer report, but the CFPB, the FTC, and the arbitrator said it was.
And from there, you were able to get a settlement. Now, I don't want you to state on here how much you got, because that's between you and them, but you were able to settle the case with a nice check.
Yes.
All right.